Hi, good morning. Is it a good day to start?
Yes.
Are you all charged up? So what is this charging up? You notice? You have to charge your mobile for the day. You have to charge your bank account every month. You have to make sure withdrawal is less than what you're putting in. To get on to the topic charging up is what you just heard from Marsh. Anil Brown sir has talked to you all, what Kishan sir introduced. This is for everyone who's in the payroll of this school. Every member, including Baba, who must be 75, 80 years old. I don't know. He looks that old. He may be 60, I don't know. And it gives you that confidence of the, just in case if you lost faith in your own body, own mind, you could. By the way, what Anirban talked to you about, the investigations are not included. I would correct that and Anirban could tell me whether it is true or not. While you're in the hospitalization, all investigations are included, am I correct? Yeah. So everything while you're in the hospitalization, everything is, and we would like you to, but this is that. It also includes, perchance a monkey came and hit your motorbike or car or something, and that's not your fault, somebody else's fault, but that's also covered up. And almost all majority hospitals are taking it. It has been one of our vision to give you this, a tiny bit is called your body. It will go into the topic of what I'm talking about, regeneration. You do spend a lot of time in regenerating yourself. Towards the regeneration of your concept of the education, and Victoria's kids, how the man told you in brief, the Middle East program has done well, and we have a policy here in this school, every child matters, and we allow even those children, most of the schools, what they do is they choose good children, and there is a yardstick of selections, and obviously the results are accordingly reflected. What we have, whether for right from tiny babies onwards, everybody, every child matters, and going into the Middle East program and to the DP for their life, to go ahead and prepare themselves. So you need to spread this word within your own thought processes and things like that. Why is this called School with a Difference? So everyone over here has that potential and the power, and discovering that is what we call is schooling, is education. In terms of recharging, revalidation, you do this every day. You recharge your mobile, you recharge yourself, you have your break fast. I know many of you don't have. What is that? You had fasted through the night, you're breaking that fast so that you're recharging yourself. Now, we don't make the connection because we have become very superficial and performing just on the surface. You know, the surface of the ocean, surface of the river or the lake. We're not going down, diving down deep within. Actual wealth is underneath the ocean, isn't it? Whether it's the life or the petroleum or the pearl or the diamond or the sunken ships or whatever, it is all down there. Because of which, what is happening is, you and I are more concerned about our body, And we spend a lot of time in redecorating and etc. and clothing and all that stuff. Sure, you should go ahead because the body is your temple. But what about inside the temple? Called human mind. That human mind is the biggest trouble. Elizabeth Taylor got married first time to Richard Burton. 6 marriages after that. And the 6th marriage was again Richard Burton. So she realized, I didn't know how to handle, my mind didn't know. She corrected herself. I was talking to a very nice lady yesterday, and she has this similar kind of a conflict right now. She's thinking about separation, one of our powerful lady. And I was telling her, it is very easy to give up on your own self. You're giving up on your own self. I can't handle this situation. So, what do? Go and bang the door, leave the house, live with my parents, or go to the bar and, what are you doing? You're just escaping. From who? From your own self. Then now look at the nature. Have you noticed, like right now, the rain is regenerating in the mountains when you go to Mumbai? Now, have you noticed? The dry mountains of the Ghats are beautifully green and lush, regenerating itself. Nature does. Look at the river. Isn't the river continuously regenerating itself? Buddha, Lord Buddha, the greatest human being, as most great masters have labeled him as, including Paramahamsa Ramakrishna Vivekananda. Vivekananda said it in his biography that if there has been ever a perfect human being born on this earth, mind you, his guru Paramahamsa Ramakrishna was called the God. Jesus Christ is called Son of God. And they all follow everybody, and yet they said it is Buddha. And what did he say? He says, if you put your left foot on the river, and now you put your right foot, that river is not the same, it's another river. Why? It is regenerating itself continuously. But look at that river. Let's say, talk about Banaras. What did Narendra Modi do? Regenerated that river with the human help. Because silts were covering up, maybe because of wrong handling of the human beings, maybe its own self, it needed. So the silt in the center, huge island was going to form. In other words, what? Flow of the river was started rolling. Look at the river. Tiny, tiny raindrops going into the mountain, falling onto the lakes, and making little rivulets. And those rivulets are all coming and joining up to maybe a big waterfall. And that waterfall, you go and stand and you say, oh nice, huge waterfall. That waterfall is joining up with other waterfalls subsequently and going and joining a river. River is rejuvenating itself from the rain, from the waterfalls, and for the others. Mind you, look at it carefully, think about it, reflect. In that rejuvenation, does the river say, I will not accept the drained water? Does it say? If you ever go to Himalayas, when you're coming down or going, you will find from up in the villages and the mountains, little, such small, maybe 1 foot wide or 2-3 inches wide, little drain waters are coming down. We were in Kedarnath, Badrinath, very powerful auspicious space. Very cold, very powerful. So there, after the visits when we were coming out, Shadana was very fond of picking up relics of each place. So she was picking up some stone. So we had collected the Shiva Ling and the water from there, but we wanted to pick up, there's a rivulet from where it is like looking like a rivulet. Ma'am was wanting to pick up the stone. And I wanted to pick up the water, Kedarnath water, no? As we were going to do that, Panda said, don't. I said, why? He said, that's not pure water, it's a drain water. There's a drain in that place. Meaning all the toilets and everything is coming down there. So nowadays, river is not refusing. So you and I need to be that river and eventually join up with the ocean. And what happens? I don't know if you've ever read this. You can read it in World Book, Encyclopedia, on the article called Water. It's there in the school. And if you look carefully, all of us today don't look at the encyclopedias anymore, particularly books. If you want to, you go to Google, and maximum you will go for an online encyclopedia. Turning those pages have got tremendous. There is a beautiful article on water cycle. I recollect this as I am talking to you. It says, the water that you're drinking right now, it may have been the water in which you took bath last evening. It may have been your toilet water which has been flushed 1 month ago. It may be from the rain, it may be from the ocean. The water that you have today on the surface of the earth has remained the same as it was million years ago. But we say what? Water is reducing, there is no water. The water is same. You and I are creating problems with them for whatever our reasons. A same thing what we're talking about is rejuvenating yourself. You need to look into your mind. Where is the problem coming in? Mind is saying, I don't like this girl. I don't like this concept. No. Yes. Maybe. Is he talking fraud? Or is there truth in it? You're assessing like that. Your mind is chattering continuously. Which is that mind? Is your ego. Where is it coming from? You know, your body is also rejuvenating. Are you aware? The blood cell that you had 15 days ago and blood cells that you have today are different. Read, there is a book in the library. Ageless Body, Timeless Mind by Dr. Deepak Chopra. Read that book. 10 to the power 20. That's 1 and 20, 0. Every time that you breathe out, every time you breathe in, you're rejuvenating your body. Your bone is changing. Your liver is changing. Your heart is changing. Now, if you've been breathing in and doing that and worrying that, I have this problem called lower back pain. I'm like that. I've got lower back pain. Or whatever I eat, I put on weight. You're feeding it to your own brain, and your body goes ahead and acts on it. Why? Quantum theory, remember? We have talked about it. At the end of it is what? When you break down the matter, everything comes from information, energy. So the energy is prevalent. It doesn't reduce or go down or destroy or create. It is always there. Information is what you're changing continuously. From what you're thinking, what you're praying, what you're doing, what you're reading, what you're studying. You're replacing. I used to be like that, now I'm different. So what you're doing, you're rejuvenating yourself. You need to do that to your mind. And the mind, as crudely we think, is not matter. It is not so. Your mind, your thoughts, your faith, everything is matter. Why? Because it occupies space. What space? Your own space. Your faith cannot be my faith. Your ideas and thoughts cannot be my ideas and thoughts. Even your closest twin sister, brother, or husband and wife, or the children, your favorite kid, won't have that. They will say, no, Mama, that's not right. You say, what do you say? My forefathers have always said this should be the procedure. He said, yeah, maybe. And that's what we call today generation gap. So notice, nature is changing continuously. Look at these beautiful trees, the grass, the mountains are becoming, rejuvenating itself. Again in the next winter and summer, it is going to go down. But it will rejuvenate itself. If you have been traveling around, go to some of those extreme weather situations in India, like Himalayas and things like that, or to the desert, you will see they rejuvenate themselves. Some of the animals also do. Look at the snakes. They discard their skin and put on new skin. Look at the bears. They go ahead for hibernation. For 6 months, they're sleeping. And they rejuvenate themselves and come out. You and I sometimes, have you noticed, you do have a good sleep, you had a good sleep, but when you wake up, you're not fresh. Why? If you look carefully, it's your mind. Which trouble with which you went to sleep, as you get up, sure, it will come back to your head again. You don't know how to rejuvenate that. But look at a baby. Baby is always bubbling, chirpy, happy, joyful. So the moment you hold a baby, have you noticed? Very rarely you will find somebody picks up a baby like that. They're always smiling. Why? The baby is the energy. Why? Because baby is always fresh. Same baby becomes 7, 8, 9, 10 years old tomorrow, and you have trouble like that your own self. You know what used to be your trouble when you were 7, 8, 9, and then it became your trouble when you were a teenager. And notice you're changing all the time. And from teenager to become adult, notice what your body is rejuvenating, but what you don't know, possibly, that your mind is not. Your mind is the oldest thing, which has, those of you who believe in reincarnation of ancient, whether Buddha or Hinduism, and many other like Guru Nanak, Guru Gobind, or Mahavir Jain, etc., they all believe in that. That mind has traveled in what? Whatever you have accumulated, good things will happen to you. Good thoughts will come to you. Look at it, from a baby, you grow up to be an adult. And supposing you learn how to rejuvenate yourself, you become a saint. So when you're a saint, have you noticed? Our saints, they always have a smile. They always say, it's okay, come. So when you interact with such people, you feel good. Can you and I also become a little bit like that? You have to throw away that ego. When ego is there, you say, do you know who I am? The other day, one gentleman came. So, Mangesh, Kishan, they were all there. So they created a lot of trouble at the gate. Sadhuman had to go personally with them to say, he said, I have to go inside with my car. Sadhuman said, you have to pass. And this is for what? To drop my daughter at about 10:30 for a class. So why is so late? Oh, we got late. No apology or nothing. I have to go inside to drop. So naturally, Sadhuman told, see, you're not allowed anymore now, beyond 9:30. You park your car here, go drop him and come back. I want to meet Dr. Ghosh. So, man said, sure, go ahead. He came down, and he came and sat down, and he said, first thing, मालूम है ना मैं कौन हूँ? So I said, I'm very firm with these kind of people. I said, नहीं है, आप कौन है? So he gave his name. Honestly, it didn't click anything to me. I said, okay, आप किसके लिए आए हैं? नहीं, ऐसे God मेरे को आने नहीं दे रहे. I said, that is correct. You're not allowed. मालूम है हमारा बच्चे छोटे उम्र से अभी इतना बड़ा तक पढ़ रहे हैं. I said, आपने क्या मेहरबानी किया है स्कूल को? हमने कोई आपके बच्चे को पकड़ के लेकर आए हैं इधर. आप लाए हैं और उसको पढ़ा रहे हो. क्यों? Because she is changing. And yet, the senior teachers will tell you she's quite a pain in the neck. But why is she like that? She is good. Somebody is feeding her this kind of data at home all the time. So that's the ego playing of the mind. Alright. And the moment you become humble, like a baby, like a saint, the great masters say, when I close my eyes, I feel peace within. When I open my eyes and I see you, I say, what can I do for you? So when you become, that ego goes away, you think about, what can I do for you? What is Abraham Lincoln, president, say? America. It is not what the country has done for you. It is what have you done for the country. So what have I done for my family? For those poor people? For my school, organization, company, country, world? And even bigger, it is cosmos. Because your energy, every time that you let off, it's not going to die, it's going. So when you sometimes walk into somebody's home, say a couple, and you press the bell, it may be your neighbor or friend or a sister visiting, and you have that powerful thing called a consciousness. As you open the door, both of them receive you with a smile, and you immediately realize, ladai ho raha tha. You do, no? How did you do that? Because the ether of that house is choked with that energy. That, where did it go from? From their mind and the words, etc. which goes on. Why do you feel good in a church or a mosque or a temple? Because it's always good. Have you ever realized, you don't go inside a temple and think about fighting? Or a mosque or a church. You don't go to a beautiful, which is the God's temple, this beautiful universe. Lovely mountains and waterfalls and snow-capped hills or the ocean. You automatically say, you feel good. That's nature's temple. So become humble. How can I help? Whatever little I have been gifted with, like a postman is bringing a parcel for you. Postman doesn't own the parcel, nor is he giving it to you by buying it, but he's giving it to you, right? He's the carrier. Are you with me? The postman or the courier guy is carrying something to give it to you. Hey, champion teachers, staff members, you and I are the carriers of whatever skills we have, is gifted by the Supreme Consciousness, Almighty, Allah, God, Son of God, Krishna, whatever name you call, or the Divine Mother. We've been gifted with it to give it to you. Share it with you. There are people who are very nice, they're around, you feel like talking to them. Do. Take the depths. So there is this old rich man. He had 3 sons. He left behind his entire property, and he said, he put it little trickily, he said, everything that I have, half of which should go to my elder son. 1/3 of that, of the entire property, should go to my second son. And and 1/9 of it is to the youngest one. Now the rest of the property, material, sorting it out was not a problem. But the old man had also 17 elephants. Now they're in a fix. How do we divide the 17 elephants into half? 17, no? And 1/3 and 1/9. So they were all confused. So what did they do? They went to a saintly, holy person and said, "Sire, we have this problem. We don't know what to do." So he just smiled and he said, "Your father was testing you. That he has left a little problem for you, but it's okay, not a big problem." He said, "How, sir?" He said, "Very simple. I got an elephant. I'm giving it to your father. So now he has got 18 elephants. Half of that is 9, goes to the elder one. 1/3 of 18 is 6, goes to the second one. And 1/9 of it is 2. So 2 plus 6 plus 9 is 17. One elephant is left, give it back to me." Why I'm talking about this, tremendous amount of these beautiful messages are there from our people around. You need to pick and choose on our scriptures, on our texts. Also, don't ignore the internet, but know which one to take. And now, the Victorious Kids Educators is prepared to make people's life different and better. Every one of us, starting from me down to everybody, and down from everybody to right up to whoever is associated with this, including our parents, our consultant, advisors, anybody, including the vendors, whoever is associated with it, we should be able to change their life. With that mission in your heart, can we reject some kids? Now, for everyone, and make them do better what they had forgotten about themselves. Is discovering the secret power from within the child. Is schooling, is parenting. I love you all. Thank you. Have a beautiful day.